Hello and welcome. It's Jason and Zach with RTB Technologies. And today we want to talk about business email compromise. Because you see, the first sign of trouble isn't necessarily ransomware, it's actually nothing at all. It doesn't start with ransomware. You won't see any alerts, there's no lockout, you won't see a you've been hacked message. There's just a hidden forwarding rule. So think about this like an IV drip instead of a fire hose. So Zach, let's get into business email compromise a little bit more and how it works and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. So business email compromise, there's a lot of you out there that are watching this that probably have already had this occur, which is unfortunate but true. It happens a lot, and as you stated, Jason, it's not always obvious, right? And that's one of the differences in business email compromise versus a virus or any of your traditional methods of malicious software, ransomware, etc. So a few things that kind of tell us this is occurring, and let's first get into how it happens. And it can happen in many forms. The easiest is you click on a phishing link, or you click on a bad website and put in your credentials, and it steals your credentials. Now, what happens once that occurs? Well, once that happens, what the attacker is going to do is in the back end, they're going to set up rules. They're going to set up forwarding rules. They're going to do a lot of surveillance on your account to see kind of how you operate when you send emails, how you send those emails, what the inside of the email looks like, so how you speak. And then they're going to use that in order to craft things. And when they eventually do use this as a method to attack, what they're going to do is they're going to send an urgent or time sensitive email to someone in finance or a position of power to gain more access. And then you're going to have unusual payment or account instructions. They're going to do impersonation or spoofing, which if they're in your account already because of business email compromise, they're not going to need to spoof or impersonate because they have your account. Confidentiality requests, usual communication methods, or sometimes have poor or inconsistent grammar. Unfortunately, that last one, poor and inconsistent grammar, is kind of going away. We are long gone from the Nigerian prince emails because of the advent of AI and how prevalent AI is.
Yeah, for sure. It's really hard to detect. You know, I actually had something happen to me personally last week in which I got an email from a colleague and the subject was, "Did you see this?" And the only thing in the body of that email were attachments. And so red flags automatically went off. And because I thought it was a possibility that her email was compromised, I contacted her via text. Say, "Did you send this email?" Turns out she actually did. But that's exactly what a business email compromise looks like, is that your recipients will have something in the subject line, whether it's something like, "Did you see this?" or invoice or receipt or something like that. And it'll entice people to click on either those links or the attachments. So that's how easily it can happen. But speaking of the signs, let's talk a little bit more about what signs people can look for. I mean, other than being the recipient of something like I just described, maybe it's within your inbox that's compromised. So some of those signs that you can look for is maybe messages that you're expecting might be missing, or your inbox is behaving oddly, or maybe your colleague asks about a weird email, kind of like I did with my colleague. But the thing is, don't wait to report it because it's all about speed and controlling that blast radius.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the one that we've seen quite a bit with when we do cleanup for other people and other companies is we see the little rule changes, the inbox rules, right? So you may have a forwarding rule or something set up to say, you know what, I want all of the emails for, let's just pick on uh, PayPal because that one's usually a lot of people use PayPal. All the emails from PayPal are going to automatically go into the PayPal folder, right, in your inbox, because you can set up rules like that. Well, the attackers know that too, and what they do is they'll actually set up a rule that goes to a box that's like a period is the title, and they'll hide it like under multiple mailboxes, so that all of the emails that they want you to not see, that they're either sending or they're receiving on behalf of those emails they're sending, are going to go into that hidden mailbox. So Mailbox rules is one of the major ones we see in pretty much every situation. They're going to change mailbox rules, either for forwarding or to put into a specific folder.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are definitely some things that people can do. You know, you could do other things like block external auto forwarding by default within your configurations. Regularly audit those mailbox rules. Make sure that there's nothing out of the normal. Look for signature changes. So like a lot of times people will change your signature block so that your phone number is altered or contact method is altered, something like that. And you want to enable alerts for anomalous behavior, location, login behavior, things like that. And again, if something looks weird, say something. And this really matters because, again, it doesn't start loud, but it ends loud. So think about a wire transfer going to the wrong bank, or a vendor receiving a fake invoice, or perhaps a lawsuit just landed in your inbox. In all these cases, you're going to need to prove that you have the proper controls in place. Zach, any last comments before we wrap this up?
Yeah, the only real comment is this, like you said, this is something that can happen very quickly, or it can take a long time to occur. But when it does happen, it's very detrimental in most cases. In most cases, these are highly weaponized emails or actions that are taken after a business email compromise, and that's why they're so prevalent, because they're easy to do for an attacker. They're hard to detect, and when they happen, they can occur really quickly and can really take your company for a ride. So please be aware of these and please be vigilant.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And again, think business email compromise thrives on silence, and you kill it with visibility, logs, and culture. So get ahead of it or get buried by it. I hope everybody stays safe out there, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next time.